Hi, and welcome back to Pappy Tinkers. Since I always forget to say this at the moment, since you're here, why don't you go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and you can find out all the cool things that I'm up to. Here's some pictures of some modifications that I did to my entry for the 2023 group build for the F-100. And here I'm starting to prime it. I put some extra primer over the places where I did body work, like the shaving the door handles and the door locks, some mold lines. I used Mr. Surfacer 1200 for this, and it's a pretty good primer, but you do need to make sure that you've got good ventilation for this, and hopefully you're smarter than the Tinker dogs and not to spray right where my overspray is going. It's like they all want to walk by and catch a little paint buzz. But I put a couple extra coats on where the old mold lines were, and the extra body work that I had to do to it, maybe a scratch or two that I put in it from opening up the door seams just a little bit more. My original plans were to paint this a nice candy color so any scratches would show up in it, and if I did any extra masking or two-tones on it, I found that it really needs a coat of primer on it before you start putting tape on it, or bad things will happen. Once the primer had a day or so to dry, I started painting some of the pieces. I used craft paint for some of the interior paints, and I'm getting less and less pleased with it. It just doesn't have the kind of coverage, and I seem to spend more time putting 2 and 3 and 4 coats on it than I do with the more expensive paints like Vallejo or Mission Models or some of the other stuff. So maybe I'll just keep my craft paints for dioramas and stuff like that from now on. Maybe a little bit of weathering. But they've just got so many colors and they're so widely available that it's always tempting to pick up a couple bottles. Like this one, I thought this would look like the perfect Ford engine blue, until I had to put 4 coats on it as well. And even at 99 cents, that's just not worth it to me. It's more of a hassle. The color looked right, it just didn't cover. And that, who wants extra work while they're doing their models? I didn't have that same problem when I was painting the other parts with the other paints, like this Vallejo Vallejo leather brown that I used to paint some places that I wanted to look like leather on the interior. One coat, one easy simple coat over the craft paint and over the primer. That's all it took. So time saving and coverage is worth it more to me than saving a few cents on paint. And I know some people swear by using the craft paints for the exterior of the models, but other than maybe a foundation coat on something transparent, I just can't see doing a whole lot that way. I might try it as an experiment on something, but I don't think I'll like the results. Anyways, as you can see, I'm two-toning the interior, and I think that's going to look pretty good. For the original colors that I had planned, that would have looked really good, but here I am, just a few days away from the deadline, and the rest of the model's still in primer. So, will I wimp out and go flat black? Will I still try to do something else? I don't know. time is running short, and you guys are going to want to see the end results real soon. So I guess I better stop talking and get back to Pappy's workbench. So hit that like and subscribe button so you always know what's going on, and I'll see you next time on Pappy Tinkers.